Welcome to our Archives online classes. Today I am going to concentrate on Bohr's theory of hydrogen atom. I am going to teach Bohr's theory of hydrogen atom. So let us first concentrate on three important postulates of Bohr's theory. Three important postulates. The first postulate is so the electrons are revolving around the nucleus in a stationary circular orbits. Stationary circular orbits. Stationary means what? The energy of that electron remains constant. So that means we know that for any object has to rotate in a circular path means there must be a force acting towards center. There must be a force acting towards center, that is called centripetal force. Here the electrostatic force between electron and nucleus, which is acting radially inwards, that provides the centripetal force for this circular motion. That's what we write according to Newton's second law. F is equal to ma. F is equal to ma. What is F? The electrostatic force 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Ze into E by R square, that is Coulomb's force of attraction, is equal to ma. M into A. We know that the acceleration of a particle in a circular path is v squared by r, that is centripetal acceleration. So F is equal to ma. This is the first postulate. So here, even though electron has acceleration, the work done by this force is 0. That means the angle between force and velocity is 90. Work done by force is 0. The energy, there is no change in energy according to work energy theorem. So that's why the orbit energy remains constant. Fine. The next point. So the orbital angular momentum, that is MVR, of electron is quantized. That is the second postulate. So MVR is equal to NH by 2 pi. Then what is N? Principal quantum number. Quantized. So the quantization starts from this point. This third postulate says when electron jumps from higher orbit to lower orbit, it emits a radiation. It emits a radiation. According to the formula, E2 minus E1 is equal to h nu. So these three are the important postulates of Bohr's theory. Let us find the expression for the radius of nth orbit of the hydrogen atom. So we know that 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Ze squared by r squared is equal to mv squared by r, and mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi. So square it. The second postulate, square it. Then take the ratio of these two, 2 by 1. So v square gets cancelled. We have eliminated the velocity. From that we can get the radius of the nth orbit, Rn is equal to n square by z h square epsilon naught by pi m e square. Where m is mass of the electron, e is the charge of electron, h is Planck's constant, and epsilon naught is permittivity. So very important thing is all this is a constant. If I calculate this value, so we got R naught. Let us call this as R naught. 0.529 angstroms. We can say when n is equal to 1, for hydrogen atom Z is equal to 1, this R naught is called Bohr's radius. Bohr's radius, which is around 0.529 angstroms. So very important thing is the radius of the nth orbit is proportional to square of the principal quantum number and inversely proportional to atomic number. So please remember. Let us find the expression for the velocity of electron in nth orbit. Velocity of electron in nth orbit, that is. So we know as usual F is equal to ma. Then we know the expression for radius of the nth orbit. Rn is equal to n square h square epsilon naught by z pi me square. Now you substitute r value here, you will get expression for velocity. So where velocity of electron in nth orbit is given by z by n, where z is atomic number, e square 2 epsilon naught h. Or you can also write Vn is equal to z by n into V naught. What is V naught? Velocity of the electron in first orbit. So V naught is also equal to C by 137, you can write. Is also equal. So V naught by C is equal to 1 by 137. This 1 by 137 is also called fine structure constant. And remember that velocity of the electron in the nth orbit is proportional to z and inversely proportional to principal quantum number. These are the very important points. So next, let us find the expression for the energy of nth orbit. Energy of nth orbit. So we know that 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Z squared by R squared is equal to mv squared by R. So first let us calculate the kinetic energy. What is the formula for kinetic energy? Half mv square. So what it is? R it gets cancelled. Multiply both sides by half. Multiply both sides by half. Okay. So we'll get kinetic energy is 1 by 8 pi epsilon naught Z squared by R. This is the kinetic energy. Always positive. Okay. So we know that electrostatic potential energy between the two charges Q1 and Q2 is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R. Okay. If you apply this formula, so the potential energy of this electron revolving in a circular orbit is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Ze is the charge of this nucleus into minus C. Electron is negative charge by R. This is the potential energy. So potential energy is negative. Be careful. Potential energy is negative. So sum of this kinetic energy and potential energy fair, I will get the total energy of the orbit minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Z squared by R. The total energy is negative. Negative means bounded electron, bounded to the nucleus. Okay. Now, if I substitute the expression for the radius, which already we derived, I will get the energy of the nth orbit is minus z square m e to the power of 4 by n square 8 epsilon naught square h square, which is the Planck's constant. If I simplify, the energy of nth orbit is minus z square by n square, where n is the principal quantum number. All is the constant. Generally, we use the unit electron volt to explain to express the energy in atomic physics. Electron volt. So 13.6 electron volts. That means for hydrogen atom, if Z is equal to 1, N is equal to 1 for ground state, the ground state energy of the hydrogen atom is minus 13.6 electron volts. So that is the next. Let us find the expression for wave number. So that is 1 by lambda, number of waves per unit length. Okay. So we know that when electron jumps from higher orbit to lower orbit, it emits light or radiation. Okay. According to the formula, E2 minus E1 is equal to h nu, which is nothing but c by lambda. And we know the expression for energy as z square m e to the power of 4 by n square 8 epsilon naught square h square. If I substitute, so I will get 1 by lambda is equal to all that constant called as R. The R is called Rydberg constant. R into z square into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n square. Where Rydberg constant for stationary nucleus is 1.09 to the power of 7 meter inverse. Okay. So let us find the expression for the frequency of different line spectrum, different series. Okay. So for Lyman series, the frequency nu is equal to Rc into 1 by n1 square. n1 is 1. Okay. So n2 is 2, 3, 4 dash. Okay. So that means when electron jumps from higher orbits to the first orbit, okay, the emitted lines are called Lyman series. Okay. Similarly, in Balmer series, okay, so n1 is 2, n2 is where is 3, 4, 5. So when electron jumps from third orbit to second orbit, the emitted line is in Balmer series. Similarly, Paschen series, n1 is 3, n2 varies from 4, 5, 6. Similarly, for bracket series, n1 is 4, n2 is 5, 6, 7. Similarly, Pfund series, where n1 is 5, n2 varies from 6, 7, 8 dash. So these are the expression for different series of line spectrum of hydrogen atom, where we have taken Z is equal to 1. Similarly, you can find 1 by lambda wavelength. Okay, 1 by lambda.
Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe Dr. RK's classes for more important videos. Thank you.